People want to know what the core business is. I know what it is, but that's where the real momentum is. I've said this before. After your doctor, I think, and even before your lawyer, depending, is your trash collector.
That's it.
All you need to do is see when there's a strike or when something, after an event or something, and there's no trash collecting. You see pretty quickly who's important in your life.
Exactly.
And that's what your main business is. It's those dumpsters, right?
It is. Well, for the quarter, we talked a lot about how strong solid waste is.
Solid waste
is incredibly strong right now.
Because we're generating waste in a strong economy? Does it matter?
Part of it's the economy. Part of it's a good pricing climate for us. We're able to raise prices. So it's.
What controls that?
Well, I think pricing is somewhat of an anecdote for inflation. So the fact that we're able to offset inflation with any price increases is part of the use of it. Part of it is providing great customer service. If you're differentiated, you're able to raise prices better than if you're not.
Do you remember Santoli? And Becky, you do too. But you mean Wayne?
Absolutely.
The founder.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he bought one truck when he was 22 years old or something, and then quickly realized if you own those dumpsters, every week or every month, someone has to pay you to rent that dumpster. And then he did it and figured out the same thing with Blockbuster but that is an annuity business it's never going away.
Yeah, I never met him, but he was brilliant.
Yeah, and it worked and he opened up a lot of different businesses that all had that same sort of model.
Yeah, and it's a good proxy for the overall economy. I mean, we touch just about every single segment of the economy. So we were asked yesterday about what we think 19 looks like. For us, it actually looks quite good. I mean, our commercial business, which Wayne. Those dumpsters were the brilliance of that business because that is the most profitable side of the business. And those are a really good proxy for how small business is doing. Small business seems to be doing well based on that.
Based on small business,
yeah. So and the industrial side of our business is more a proxy for manufacturing, and that's doing really well too.
You have kids?
2 girls.
So when they tell their friends, my dad's in waste management, do they explain he really is in waste management? I mean, it's not like.
When they talk about waste management, our girls think more of the recycling side of the business.
They do, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, because how big is that at this point? Because there have been times where that's been overplayed in terms of profitability. Just your bread and butter business is just doing.
I mean, it's 10% of our overall business.
10%.
It's kind of a down year for recycling, but solid waste.
But that's what they say to their friends. Yeah, he's into recycling.
What are the problems with recycling? We've talked about this in the past, but it's much more problematic.
Right. It's really the fact that if you think about what comes in the front door of those plants, a piece of it is not recyclable. 10 years ago, it was 10% of what came in the front door ultimately was trash on the back end of the process. It's close to 25% today, and China has come back, really not related to the tariff thing, but has come back and said, look, we don't like the fact that what you and all the recyclers import to us has a big trash component to it. So they've shut it down, and it's requiring that we take the trash out of the recycle stream. Some of it's education of our customers, some of it's fees that we charge our customers. I mean, there's a number of fixes to it. Long term, we're going to change processing plants. We're going to put a new processing plant in that ultimately changes the whole business.
Where are you on you were in waste energy, and then I think.
Yeah, we sold out of that about 4 years ago.
The last guy sold out.
Yep.
I remember we used to talk to him about that because it just. What natural gas?
There was a lot of volatility to it. It was tied to natural gas prices.
Is it economically
I think
doable?
It's a good business, but
down the road, or I mean, natural gas and fracking sort of made it less.
Possibly.
Doable,
we couldn't grow it very well in the United States.
It's a great idea. If we could do it, everybody wanted to turn all our trash into energy.
Yeah.
Why can't we do it? It's one of those renewable ideas that sounds so good, but then in practice, sometimes it's hard.
I think there may be some opportunity for us down the road.
Why'd you get out of it then?
Well, because it was hugely volatile, and every quarter I had to answer a question, or David had to answer a question about the volatility of it. And
you still participate. You own some of it or something, don't you?
We don't own any of.
Oh, you're out totally now
at all. So, and the solid waste business doesn't have the same volatility to it. So.
Hey Jim, let me ask you. We've always looked at the waste business as a really good read, a real-time read on trying to find out what's happening with the economy. Because in good economies, you see a lot more trash, just because there's more consumption, a lot of that going through.
Yeah,
we're so concerned right now about the GDP numbers and what's really happening in the economy. What do you see?
So really, our early indicators are that the economy is still strong. I mentioned that commercial business, which is, I think, a pretty good barometer for for small business, and that is very strong right now. And then our industrial business, which a piece of that is forward-looking, the construction piece is forward-looking, seems to be very strong as well. So to the extent that those are a good temperature gauge for the overall economy, and I think they are, we're seeing a good 2019 so far.
How fragmented is the industry still? That was kind of like the premise initially.
It was a roll-up.
M&A opportunity anymore or no?
So it's still pretty fragmented. I mean, you know, Waste Management, kind of the big three players make up 45% of the collection and maybe 55% of the disposal. So it's still pretty, you know, pretty fragmented. There's some opportunity for M&A for sure.
Are you going to continue with the dumpsters talking to each other on the advertising?
I don't know. We're not sure about
You're thinking about that, right?
We're thinking about that. We like it, though.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. You just need good writers and stuff. I mean, it can make a difference. You saw.
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask about that. I'm not very creative.
You farm that out to somebody.
I farm it out to somebody
You're at 30,000
that's way more creative than I am.
Way more creative that's in charge of that. Anyway, thank you.
You bet.